and welcome to another episode of Wait What, the show that brings you the news you didn't know you need to know. Part of the Big Laughs Comedy Network. I am your host, Luke Severeid. We have a very fun show for you today. We have comedians Cavin, Eggleston, and then Josh Firestine. They're going to talk about robots and grand slams. But before we talk to them, I want to get on my host, the ever balded, the ever bearded, the ever tattooed Gregory Beachler. What up, man?
What's going on, man? How you doing, bro?
I'm good. How you doing?
Man, I'm good, man. Had a good weekend. Might have caught the Rona. We'll see. Give it a couple days.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, it's been fun.
Give it about 2 weeks, and then I'll shake your hand again. Until then, stay back, bud.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough.
All right, let's dive into it. You're the wait what moment of the week that we both agreed on. Talking about GMO mosquitoes.
Yeah, man. People are freaking out about them. I guess scientists decided that the best way to combat mosquito problem is to manipulate male mosquitoes to breed with female mosquitoes, and then their offspring are kind of like mule. They'll be infertile and they'll die off in a generation.
Which is honestly like a pretty sneaky way to like curtail the population of like of an animal. Is that like this is a result of like pesticides that they're immune to them, and like so they have no other way to get rid of them. So they're like, you know what? We're just gonna mess with your genetics. That's how we're gonna dominate you. It's ridiculous. But they're planning on releasing millions into
750 million.
Yeah, dude, that's insane. That amount of like who breeds that many? Like what the terror that must make your chest fill up with if you see a container with millions of mosquitoes in it. That's plague.
Yeah. That's like a biodome worth of mosquitoes, man. That's not like just a container. 750 million.
People are pretty upset about this, like as if they think it's just a thing that like no one's put any research behind or anything like that. Like legitimately people are like, yo, this is how you make Jurassic Park happen, which not gonna lie, I thought of it too, just because mosquitoes are in that movie. But literally this is the exact opposite of that happening, because if you're making it so the mosquitoes aren't more prevalent, they're not going to be stuck in amber. They're not going to be preserved. You're not whatever the next version of the sentient being on this planet in a couple million years isn't going to find a mosquito with human blood in it. And they're not going to clone it and make a park that goes haywire. It's like the opposite of Jurassic Park.
Like roaches or some shit. Like, no, they're stepping on us like crazy. Yeah, you're right. It would be the opposite.
Yeah,
people are also mad that like they think there's going to be like a big environmental impact. You know, like a lot of species that eat them are going to die. And but I don't know, they already tried this in Brazil. Like, come on, America, you think they're really going to just test out mosquitoes, genetically modified mosquitoes on Americans first? No, dude, they did this in South America and Brazil, and it worked, man. Zika's like 20% down because, you know, it's been killing mosquitoes that carry Zika, malaria. That kills like 25% of the people that have ever lived. So
like total humans that have existed in the history.
No, that existed. That never died, though, man. Like, yeah, 25% at least have been killed by malaria.
That is that's like billions, if not trillions, of people.
I don't know, trillions, but yeah, maybe billions.
A couple billion. That's wild. And the people are upset about that.
Yeah, I don't get it though. I'd be worried about it working too well though, because like we're definitely gonna have more overpopulation problems if more people keep living these diseases, right? Like maybe malaria is the humans like checkmate. Pretty soon we're just be fighting wars over like resources. We like water and women, all because we killed off mosquitoes and bacteria.
That's a pretty optimistic way to look at this. As soon as
I'm just saying, dude, I bet you racism wouldn't be a thing if there were like less people.
I mean, it'd be easier to get to know someone if you weren't like putting everyone in groups and categorizing that way.
Yeah, nobody had like their own lake or something. Like, no, I got plenty of water. We're good. Got all this food. Yeah.
I know I'm a lot friendlier if I know I've already paid all my bills for the month. I don't have to worry about nothing. Way less.
Yeah, hateful. I'm saying, man, I don't know. Let's get to the root of the problem. Stop making mosquitoes that are just going to murder themselves in a generation. It's kind of fucked up.
All right. So you think this is just a waste of time and energy when we should just be figuring out how to make people not exist as much, and then we
No, I
can.
don't think this is a waste of time and energy. I think this is going to exacerbate a lot of problems in like 30 years.
All right.
We
Well,
have like 50% more people that are still here that would have died off usually. So now we're at like 14 billion. That was way faster than we thought.
and we can go back and blame it on mosquito.
Mosquito sex. Sorry, I got really passionate about that, man.
You did, man, and you were almost like I was like, this is like 2 steps away from eugenics, which is honestly how a lot of conversations with you go. That's why you're here, man. I appreciate it. All right, let's move on and get our first guest. He's a local Washington-based comedian, or at least he was when we were doing that sort of thing. Please welcome Cavin Eggleston.
Hi. Yeah.
Daddy.
Yeah, comedy. It's a thing that we used to do, all of us.
Yeah.
Someday again. So this week I read a story that like I immediately dialed in on because I grew up in the 80s and I was like, oh, this is amazing. Robots are being used to keep us safe now. And I was immediately like, oh, hell yeah, this is RoboCop. Finally, this is happening. Finally, 2020 is turning around. It's going to start being a good year if we get RoboCop out of it. And the article is that Boston University is using robots. They're deploying robots this week to keep students safe from COVID. And then I saw a picture of the robots, and I think deploy was a little bit more of an action verb than what it needed to be for the situation. Because it was less like a tactical deployment and more of like a guy plugging in a vending machine. All right. These are just like pretentious dishwashers.
These are not Boston Dynamic robots.
Yeah, no, which is also, I thought about that too. I was like, oh no, you shouldn't put them like robots around the place where you bully robots. You don't need them to band together. And like, I don't know how I feel about putting robots on campus. I feel like it might end badly potentially because you have all these robots there and like you're just giving them your snot. And that's going to make them resentful. Like if you just give a robot phlegm and that's the only gift you give it, like it just is going to build up rage throughout the day. Like it's looking out a window on the quad. And then just like every time it sees a freshman kick a hacky sack, it's just like one more nail in mankind's coffin.
What are they going to do? Start giving negative results?
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, also I'm like, you're giving it the virus, like you're giving it its own like bank of bacteria and viral warfare. Like you shouldn't be doing that. And then I'm also worried about these robots being like smarter because they're at college, like they're getting snot, and then they're also probably gonna like audit a philosophy class. I feel like we're just expediting their like move to sentience. Like they are going to pass the Turing test quicker than the rest of us will graduate from college. So I'm worried that we're going to have like a Terminator, but like one that can quote Kierkegaard at me before he like wipes me out. And I don't need that. Like I didn't read the book. All right. I need him to quote like Breaking Bad if he wants me to understand his like last words. I just can't do it. Also, like I don't like that they're in Boston for this because I don't want my Terminator to have a shitty accent. Like a Boston accent is not a threatening accent to die by. Like I don't want to be killed by anything that can't pronounce an R.
What if you say that same shit to like Whitey Bulger or something? Like, you know what? Just your voice. Yeah. Just kind of. I'm
really counting on geography to keep me safe on that joke. Like right now, somebody in Boston's watching this, just pissed off. They're gonna fly. They're like booking a plane ticket, and we'll show them who's afraid of our accents. If I can just find a place to park my car.
Man, I just think it's weird. I read that article too, but they can process what they say, like 1,000 tests a day.
Yeah, but you have to give yourself the test.
How about you're not just deploying that all over the country?
Why do the college kids get it?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, no, they paid a lot of money, so we got 6 robots. Yeah, send the sick kids home. The healthy ones are here. Hey, we solved it. Weird.
Yeah, but like I honestly like I thought about it more, and I was like, I think every college should have an army of robots. But like not for testing for COVID. I think they should just use them as like battle bots. Because like you could replace every college sport. Like you wouldn't have to worry about a like sophomore blowing out his ACL ever again. Like no, like two guys that peaked in high school, like getting a traumatic brain injury, because you could watch battle robots. I love it.
That sounds like the sort of idea someone who didn't play any sports in college would come up with.
Are you telling me you would not pay money if somebody made like a robot that looked like the school's mascot and made them fight to the death for you? Like you wouldn't pay to watch like a mecha leprechaun fight an actual robot Blue Devil?
Yeah,
Okay,
I would pay.
Talking about. Oh, sorry, Luke. Go ahead.
No, I was saying I would pay to watch that, but also I want to see a bunch of 19-year-olds ruin their careers in front of me.
You're like, oh, I can't enjoy a sport unless there's some actual human suffering involved.
Just a tiny amount is nice.
Oh, it's like you're just mad at them for going to parties and you didn't.
Yeah, you got to make up for it somehow, man. What were you saying,
Yeah.
Greg?
Oh, I was like, they had that battle bots. That was like a whole show. It didn't even last on Spike. Why would it last as a major college thing? Unless the technology was outstanding, like some real Voltron type shit.
Yeah,
I'd watch that.
You're at college. Like those kids will make something amazing. I mean, have you ever seen like the beer bongs and shit they pull off in college? They'll figure out how to make robots cooler.
Yeah, engineering students are amazing, bro.
Yeah. But like I was laughing because the campuses, they're doing it so they'll stay open. They're like, this is our last shot. Otherwise, we have to close everything down. But like or the teenagers, the young adults, I don't know why I'm belittling them by calling them kids, but like they keep going out and partying. And the college is like, hey, man, could you please not go and party anymore? That's not what you're here for. And the teenagers' response is, if you didn't want us to party, you shouldn't have made a college. All right. Like you're basically giving us like entrapment for partying, which I can't blame them because like I have never seen a single movie set in a college that featured somebody studying and buckling down. Like the closest one that ever showed that you have to be like smart to be in college was Good Will Hunting. And he didn't even go to that school. He was just a janitor.
Oh man, no, that's not true. What's that movie with Joe Pesci and Brendan Fraser, man? Or whatever his name is. Yeah. It's like,
come on, man, just
he
let
was
him have
like
the
writing
joke.
his dissertation for Harvard, man, and Joe Pesci was like a bum that lived in his house. That was actually a really good movie.
I just like you fact checked my my shitty movie joke.
I did. God damn it!
Like
no bullshit jokes here.
Yeah, no, like Animal House, all the other movies. You're like, nah, I'll let those slide. But I know this one by Joe Pesci. You could have just thrown two actors together and just made it up. I don't even know if that is a movie.
I could have, but you can Google it. So I swear to God.
Well, like, yeah. So I'm on the college kid's side on this. I'm like, yeah, it is your fault. You should have known they're going to party. It's like when my wife comes home with like an entire cake and then is shocked that it's gone in a night. And I'm like, you knew the kind of self-control I was entering this relationship with. Like you brought this here and then you're surprised that this happened. Like there were a lot of warning signs I was going to destroy that thing. Like she should have stopped me from being me many times over before that happened. So I'm on the college kid side on this.
It's good. It's good, man. Pro spreading a pandemic and eating a cake. Before.
Pro, like, know your audience.
Know your audience. You should have known that you can only get your birthday cake on your birthday because if it's a day early, it's gone.
Yeah. No, that's not staying another day. I have 24 hours.
I just like that, like your whole case just boils down to be like, I don't have self-control, so I totally get it when other people don't have self-control.
Yeah.
Fantastic. But also totally relatable. I get it. Did you have anything else to add on to that, Cavin?
I also love that like every time I look at these robots, they keep sticking a face on the damn things.
That's creepy.
Yeah, and it's always like it's. Thank God it's not like a human face. It's not like Silence of the Lambs or something. But it's like this benevolent smile, but like kind of ambivalent towards you as a person. Like it's like a Mona Lisa type smile. It looks like Tom Cruise, just dead eyes and a toothy grin. And that just scares me because if these things do end up wiping out humanity, I don't want to be killed by anything with a smile. Like I want it to have like an angry frowny face. I don't want it to be happy that it's wiping me out.
Well, keep talking shit about people with Boston accents, and you might get your wish.
Those frowny fucks, man, they will beat you to death and complain about how you messed up your shoes and shit.
Oh, my Doc Martens. Oh, you fucking cocksucker. You fucked up my Doc Martens.
Oh God, I'm just gonna get murdered by a robot with like Bill Burr's voice. It's gonna be terrifying.
All right, thanks for being on the show, Cavin. We're gonna get a second guest. You just heard him talking. He's also a Washington-based comedian. Back when that was a thing. Please welcome Josh Firestine.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
Good, excellent. I've had a couple of cocktails.
Nice.
I fear robots like a motherfucker. So thank you for giving me nightmares, Cavin.
Dude, yeah, for real. They are terrifying. You see the Boston Dynamic stuff, and they're just like, hey, man, we're just attacking them and making it so they learn how to fight.
Hey, Stress, how's it going? I'm doing all right. What are you trying to do? I was actually hoping that I could get some work done without feeling so stressed out. I mean, that's kind of my whole MO. I mean, that's what I do, though. Yeah, totally. I mean, I get that. That's a good point. I'm sorry I asked. Hey, depression, real quick. Do you think I could maybe get out of bed before 11 tomorrow? It's wild that you think that you're going to get out of bed tomorrow morning at all. Hey, has anyone seen Hangover? I think he's in the bathroom. Everybody could just not make any loud noises for the next 7 hours. That would be so tight. Yo, full disclosure, you might have texted your ex-girlfriend some weird stuff, so you're probably gonna have to deal with that later. Okay. If you're feeling stressed or wound up, or you just want to feel better overall, then try Elevate. All right, guys, I'm using Elevate now, and I feel a lot better, so you guys gotta go. Go, get out of here. Leave.
But can we talk about this?
I don't want to hear it, dude. Just go. Man, whatever. I'm just gonna go next door, man. Forget you guys. Hey, Karen, what's up? Visit ammahealing.co/elevate and use code BLC at checkout to get 15% off all products.
And people think that it's they call it an irrational fear to fear robot overlords. And that's crazy.
It's irrational? That doesn't seem irrational at all. It seems like a very rational fear to have.
Only maybe rational. Yeah, it's crazy.
Not right today, but give it like 10, 20, 30, 40 years. It's like, yep, I saw The Matrix.
Yeah, I saw Heavy Metal on Black Mirror. That shit was scary as fuck.
Ooh, I like that show.
Yeah.
So what is your wait what?
Okay, wait what moment, right? Okay, so I'm assuming a lot of people watching probably don't know much about baseball because no one does anymore. But I'm a big baseball fan. San Diego Padres. That's what this is. Hello, thank you. Very handsome uniform. I'm wearing it. Okay, thank you. Just wanted to show that off for a second. It cost $123.99 after a 40% discount. So not bragging, but I got that money.
No, they have that money. You gave it to them.
Yeah, you're right. I had that money. So my story is the unwritten rules of baseball. Baseball has these weird unwritten rules that everyone's supposed to abide by, and if you don't, people get upset, and a lot of them are stupid and outdated, and they kill competitiveness. The story I want to talk about was a player from my favorite team, the San Diego Padres. His name's Fernando Tatis Jr. He's 21 years old. He started last year in the MLB. He got drafted when he was like 16 or 17 years old. Super young guy from the Dominican Republic. Probably didn't do much history on American baseball ethics and unwritten rules. He knows all the written rules and follows them very well, I should say. But he's really good at baseball, super good at baseball. And he's in a game where his team was up 10-3. And he hit a grand slam on a count of 3 balls and no strikes, which is like an unwritten rule is if you have a lot of runs and you're ahead by a lot and the chance comes to just wipe out your opponent, you don't do it. And a 3-0 count, you're supposed to just take the pitch. If it's a strike, it's a strike. The guy has 2 more opportunities to do that. But that's like an old school mentality that people don't like followed by anymore. It's how many runs do we need? More. How many points do we need? More. The audience, we're like a very now society now. We need points. We need runs. We need excitement, especially without being in the stands. All of it. Anyways, it's dumb. But that's what happened. And I'm going to run you guys through exactly what happened and how the opposing team reacted to it, how they acted, and and then I'll talk about how kind of society or the community, baseball community reacted. And then I'll show you how the player reacted after it all happened. And then a cute little thing at the end, how the team reacted to everything. If that all makes sense. I don't know if that all makes sense, but.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. So let's play the first video.
He's up in the pen right now. This is in the air to right field. Back it goes. Nando has done it again. Fernando Tatis Jr. A grand slam. And the Padres go on top 14-3.
This home run right here made him the league
Two
leader.
home runs, 7 RBIs for Fernando
You saw the coach there. He
Tatis
snapped his leg.
Jr.
He's pissed off that he swung at 3 balls and 2 strikes. And then watch when he crosses home plate, he says thanks to God and all that.
Unbelievable.
Right? Okay, thank you, God. Big smack. Yeah, high five, dude. Elbow. We'll get in each other's face, but elbow it is. And then he runs to the dugout, and then he gets a look at this. The umpire. Look at, he looks like what? Like this? Oh wait, no, hold on, don't play that one yet. Don't play that one yet. Oh. So yeah, so he like looks over it and he goes like this, like what? Like his exact face is wait, what? Because his own coach was like, he was coming back to the dugout, and his own coach was like, I gave you the take sign to take the pitch. And then after the game, they asked the Texas Rangers coach what he thought of it. He's like, I don't like it. It's an unwritten rule, blah, 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 blah. You know, you don't swing at that. Everyone knows that. It's disrespectful. And then the Padres coach goes, yeah, I gave him the take sign. He should have taken it. You know, we're not trying to run the score up on the opponent. And basically just didn't have his guys back at all. And then after that happened, it wasn't that big of a deal, the Grand Slam and stuff, but the fact that the coach didn't have his back, it blew up on Twitter, like MLB Twitter, especially sports Twitter was covering it or whatever. But big deal, big story for like 3 or 4 days. That's all anybody was talking about was what about these unwritten rules of baseball, stuff like this. After the game in the press conference, after the coach had already said he was mad, the player himself apologized.
Dude, that's so lame.
He apologized. He said, you know, I'm a young player and I have grown up with this my whole life. And I know a lot of unwritten rules. This one is lost on me. I don't know this one, but I guess next time on a 3-0 count, I guess I'll take a pitch. And
that seems so counterintuitive because also, like, I mean, I don't want to do the generic thing and just say baseball's boring, but it's like, yo, you have an unwritten rule to make the game less exciting.
More boring. Yeah. It's like, and it's like, there's this new generation of I almost said comics, new generation of baseball players that are super exciting to watch because they're really competitive. They never let off the gas. People like Fernando Tatis Jr., Ronald Acuna Jr. from Atlanta, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. from a lot of juniors, by the way, from Toronto, Cavin Biggio Jr. from Toronto. There's a bunch of them, and they're changing the game. And a lot of the older folks don't like it because they don't like that. They feel it as arrogance. They're the kind of people that don't like touchdown dances. They're the kind of people that don't like when a guy sacks a quarterback and he gets up and he flexes at the camera. They're like, those people. But that's my favorite part. I want to see that guy psyched up, you know?
If that's your favorite part, have you heard of like bodybuilding competitions? They are mostly doing stuff like that.
I mean, I don't want to see him flex the whole time. And I'm not a big fan of bronze colored white people, but
two very different sports, man. Oh,
yeah,
different sports. Die already, right? Just stop.
Huh?
How come older people just don't, just die already and stop getting Twitter accounts? It seems like the most
people did back the player though. Most people back the player. A bunch of like ex-players and players that are still in were like, even pitchers were like, yeah, that guy shouldn't have thrown a fastball. He shouldn't have thrown a meatball over the plate with 3 balls and no strikes because, obviously he's not trying to walk in the run. Bases loaded. So if you walk the guy, he comes in. It's a whole dumb situation. And then this guy apologizes. And then, okay, so if you're ready for that second clip, I'll play that second clip.
He's up in the pen right now.
So this is Tatis's reaction. Okay, so the very next day, his teammate, Jurickson Profar, hits a home run. He's coming across the plate, high five, and then they do a celebration. Watch the celebration.
Two-run shot for Profar
right
yesterday in Texas, and he fouled.
He goes like this, dude. He goes like this because the Rangers were crying all day. And then the very next inning, the third video, if you want to play that third video, the very next inning, that player from the first game with the grand slam, he hits another home run. And he comes back through and he does the same celebration with the guy. He comes across, claps his hand. Yeah, good job, me. And then high five. Gonna elbow one guy and then some fucking tears for Texas.
Oh, the kids are having some fun tonight.
Right there, oh man. So that's how he reacted. Doing a little dance there. I guess that's fun. Yeah. Then, people are still talking about it that same day. And someone hit a grand slam that day to win the game. Manny Machado, they're in the 10th and they went extra innings in the 10th inning and bases were loaded and he hit a grand slam to win that game. That was 3 straight. And then the next day they hit a 4th grand slam. After the first grand slam they got mad about, they hit 3 more grand slams in the next 3 days against the same team and just crushed them. And they set an MLB record for most grand slams hit in consecutive days, which is 4. And then, yeah, that's literally the rest is history.
Is it
like karma came back on their side right there?
Big time, dude. They cried like little babies, and then they got it's like if you were getting beat up. For it's like if you grab some girl's ass and then her boyfriend started beating your ass, and then you were like, "Whoa, not fair." And then some other guys came and started beating your ass for 3 days straight.
I mean, I guess that made sense.
Not really.
No. Dude, I saw you trying to make that comparison.
Working it. I was like, "Oh, let's work this one. Let's work this one."
You start off grabbing the ass, and then you get punched, and then more punching happens, and then baseball still sounds kind of boring. I mean, that seemed
all of that was the biggest news in baseball. That made baseball history. That little bullshit right there.
That was the biggest news in baseball this week. But it was also it wasn't just because of the one thing. It was 2 or 3 days of media, but then every day they hit another grand slam, and it just kept reminding everybody hey, remember when the Texas Rangers got upset 2 days ago? Look what happened. Hey, remember 3 days ago? Remember 4 days ago? Look what happened. Poor Texas Rangers. They got so butthurt they turned off replies on Twitter.
Now they're memed tears for Texas. They got that for life.
Yeah, they got memed. Yeah.
Also, it's good to point out again that Big Laughs Comedy Network is based out of Austin, Texas. So shout out to our Texas viewers. We don't respect you, I guess.
Sorry. No, I do. Here's the weird thing is it was weird that the coach said that was complaining about that because oh, he's trying to run the score up. No, you were down by 7. And I mean, last year you guys came back from a 7-run deficit and won in the late innings. Hell, in 2007, I think 2007 or 2009, the Texas Rangers organization, they set the record for most runs scored in one game. It was 30. It was 30 runs in one game.
And did they get chastised by the opposing team's coach for?
No. I mean, the game was close the whole time. I guess they were both giving up runs like crazy, but still, come on, dude. A team can score 30 runs. It's happened in your history. Why can't you just?
Yeah. Why would the dude pitch to him?
They threw. So after he hit the grand slam, they threw at the next batter. They threw a fastball right at his back, and missed. They missed him. Yeah, they were so upset. It was, and then Tatis just kissed him. He apologizes and fucking lied to the news. He just lied because the very next day, the pitcher that threw at his buddy, he just stole third on him without even throwing to the catcher. He didn't even throw. He was just standing there and he took off and stole third. And pissed him off, and then people were like, "How disrespectful! He's the most disrespectful piece of shit."
It sounds like a lot of pearl clutching.
Yeah,
you're not supposed to keep scoring points if you're able to score points. That seems idiotic. That's like some participation trophy bullshit. Where you're just like,
yeah, I hate when people do that, man. But seriously, Jeff Bezos needs to go down, bro. He keeps scoring all the points.
What a weird pivot! What?
Jeff Bezos, man, he's scoring all the points. He's rich as fuck. Did you know that?
Oh, all right, man. I was like, how is he involved? He's just raking in all the points, dude. Yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right. He's a dragon. He's a real life dragon, just accruing a bunch of gold and doing nothing with it.
He made so much. He made billions of dollars in the pandemic.
Yeah. Yeah, and still is. So is Facebook. So is everything. It's the best. Us peasants are having.
Which reminds me, I'm sorry about the video quality of my computer. I'm getting my webcam from Amazon tomorrow.
Yeah, man. Way to stick it to the man. All right, let's did you want to do that last clip?
Oh, we don't need to do it. I think we summed it up. It was kind of like a sum up video. It was just a super nice hyped up video of all them fucking homers.
Yeah, cool. Well, thanks for being on the show, Josh, Cavin. Do you guys have anything you want to plug? Your social media, projects you're doing, all that sort of thing?
Yeah, follow me on Instagram, Josh_Firestine, Twitter, Josh_Firestine. Twitter's not really good. I'm not good at it. So fuck, Instagram is where it's at. I post dumb little clips of me and my family doing silly shit.
It's wholesome. It's nice.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Cavin_egg. I also host a podcast with my wife called By Its Cover, where we just use the covers of movies we find on Netflix and try to guess what the movie's going to be about, watch it, and then find out how wrong we were. And you can find that at By Its Cover Pod. And it's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Fantastic. Well, again, thanks for being on the show, you guys. If you, as an audience member, if you enjoy this, Big Laughs Comedy Network, they do stuff most days of the week. And we'll be back next Wednesday doing another show. If you enjoy this, you can subscribe to the Patreon, PayPal, all that stuff. You can send money our way. Hey, there's a slide. There we go. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. I'm Luke Severeid. Give it up for Greg Beachler. Can't give it up. And leave you guys on a high note. Bye.
Later, guys.